Good evening. I'm Joe Netherworld, and I'm here with your daily tarot card reading for Friday, April 25th. Yes, the 25th. I keep on losing track of the days sometimes. Too much knowledge, you lose track of the simple things, like, how much is in my checking account and what day of the week it is. But I remember a lot of other important things, mainly these cards. We're going to start in with today's 3-card read. I pull a 3-card read. There's one main card, one primary card that's sort of the card of the day, and our 2 qualifiers, our left and right side, our yin and yang, what does it mean? Oh, I think just, we got our polar, our north, south, east, west. We got our opposites, and all kind of tells a story. Now, you've been watching me. I work on keen.com. I do readings, psychic readings, available on there. If you want to talk to me direct, you can have my attention that way. I'll also be starting a candle burning service, which will be I'll be making videos of lighting candles for all different kinds of magical work and just spiritual work, and also to absorb the energy in my grand home. And that in itself is a value, and it'll be a relatively inexpensive process. And you'll get a video made directly for you. It'll be a private video, so you'll view it on YouTube, but no one else can but you. So check my website for that. I think by Monday the 28th, or maybe I'll have to wait till after Walpurga and wait till May 1st to do that. But we'll see. More details to follow. And joenetherworld.com is my website, of course. And that's a little under construction, but it's all there. All kinds of great stuff. So you can go poke around there. It's all my links and leads and various telltale stories about my strange and bizarre and interesting, if not controversial, life. And controversial friends and interesting people. I know them all. Long, jaded, and decadent career. But anyway, let's get to this reading. Right, start shuffling and pull out. I'm going to close my eyes and grab a card. Yeah. I don't know how this happens. See, I did shuffle them, right? I didn't. It's this guy again. This was yesterday's main card. Maybe we haven't found balance. Maybe we haven't found that new zero. So, I do what the cards tell me. I don't go, put it back in the deck. He wanted to come out. I'm doing this, right? My eyes are closed. I'm shuffling around the deck. I'm going to see what other cards are. This is going to be an interesting read, only because if he's here again, he's got something to say. So we're going to go with this card. Ah, yes. The 10 of Swords. That is the backstabber card. It's apparently a bunch of swords in someone's back who's lying face down on the beach. That's about as backstab as you can get. So I see what we're going. I feel it now. We're talking about balance and how some people are left out of the balance. And sometimes you have to fire people, remove them from your world, hold them accountable, and they feel backstabbed. Or, to achieve balance, you might have to realize some people are stabbing you in the back. And you can't ever achieve balance if you're being stabbed in the back. Let's see what this other card is. And this is a nice card. Well, it's an interesting, we got here, and this is hold on a second, my light is blinded, 4 of Rods. I know it from seeing it then. You can't see something because you're blinded. You immediately second guess yourself when you know it from, exactly what it is. Anyway, so that's sometimes why I take a moment here, because in order for me to show up in this rather dark and beautifully gloomy house, I have to have a spotlight on me. And even then, I'm a little bit, fading into the background. You can barely see Penny Dreadful behind me. She's the main familiar, if you will, automaton of the Gothic parlor I'm filming in. My reading table is in my Gothic parlor in my rather big, expansive haunted mansion. And it's a mansion and it's haunted. It's not a haunted mansion. I always have to explain that to people. But anyway, here we are again, right back to these cards. So, if this is coming right back again from yesterday's read, that this wants to come back and tell us something again about balance, here's why we need to find the balance. Yesterday was more about you got to go do it and find it in yourself. Here's the real world problems you're having. You're having people stab you in the back, taking from you, manipulating, not being responsible, causing you problems and holding you back and causing you to hemorrhage out the balance. The other side of the balance is this happy home. The 4 of Rods is about getting everything you want, completion, a strong foundation to all these new things you want to get. And so here we have, if you achieve balance, and here's these 2 factors you have to balance out too. You have the having to withstand being stabbed in the back, or stab some people in the back, and they might perceive it that way, in order for you to achieve this balance in this happy home. And that is the ongoing struggle, keeping those 2 things in balance. Knowing when to fire people, or when to accept being fired, and all these other things that might be considered betrayals, balance that against trying to receive and the goodness that you need to get this happy home, the balance. And maybe it's about taking away things you don't need. And maybe you should look at what really makes you happy. What are the four cornerstones, the four columns that build your world and hold your world up? We have this very simple situation where you can really dwell on the negativity and the backstabbers, and they're there. It's not that they're not there. It's that they are there. And I think this is showing us we've incorporated them too much into our lives. We've let them take up residence in our personal space, in our life, and we weren't learned to work around them. We've accepted them. And I know a few people, a few very close friends of mine who've had the situation, they're so strong that they, and I've done this myself, that they take these handicaps along with them, and they realize they could be so much stronger and better if they would just let these things go. You can't be dragging these cripples along with you into battle. You can help them, but you can't do everything for them. And when I use the term cripple, which I'm a little non-PC with my language, and forgive me, I'm an old witch. You're going to get what I say one way or the other. The term cripple, you can own that term, or you can use it as a handicap. What I mean by a handicap is a manipulation. You're not these people that are broken in some ways in your lives aren't as broken as they let themselves be portrayed as. Like if the house is on fire, they jump up and run out the door. All of a sudden they can walk, right? Figuratively, not literally. Just I don't want to say. I don't want anyone writing me. Well, my aunt was in a wheelchair and I thought she was faking, so I set the house on fire to see if she could jump out of here and run on her own, and she didn't. Don't do that. I don't want the lawsuits or the I don't want to be on CNN. It's like, noted psychic tells people to set their houses on fire so their crippled relatives can miraculously jump up and run. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying psychological cripples. Okay, let's clarify that point. I just am imagining all kinds of Addams Family-esque scenarios in my rather dark and gloomy imagination. So give me a moment to enjoy. But today's simple answer is this. To achieve balance, you must accept that you probably have nurtured some negativity and some handicapped behavior, some deceptions and some swords in your back. But what you really want is this balance, and it should be the motivator that you want this happy home. You want completion and fulfillment, and there is the balance. So what you have to do is sort of throw the scales a little bit in the positive side. Stop accepting people's excuses and their false handicaps as they're subtly controlling you. Backseat driver, topping from the bottom, as they say in other rounds of people. Luckily, I'm a very multicultural person, so I have all kinds of analogies, anywhere from the gay S&M underground to old-timey gypsy to mean-spirited old guinea. I got them all, so I'll find something that will fit the scenario, as it were. But so keep that in mind. We're going to go into the situation tomorrow. We got to let some of this stuff go. It's about achieving balance, but you can only balance so much, right? It's going to take a lot of your positivity to undo all this negativity, or you can just let the negativity go. Stop dwelling on the backstabbing. Stop carrying these handicapped people these emotionally handicapped people into your life. Let them go. You know what? Here's what I always say. How about a new problem? If you've done the same thing over and over again, it's only going to be one way. Then let it go. Even if something is bad, at least it's new and bad, and new is exciting. So I know that doesn't seem like the most provincial of instructions, to take something bad. But you know what? Anything new is better than old and bad. At least new and bad is new. You learn something. So keep that in mind. But this is about this balance. Really wants to be seen. Really wants to be in this read. So if we got these three cards, right, and we have this here, we can see you've got swords and backstabbing on the other, and happy house on the other side, and you're in the middle trying to weigh it out, balance it out. Throw the scales more towards the positive. Make a few cuts. Take those swords, remove them from your back, and stick them into the people who are causing you problems. Cut some things loose. Chop down some trees. Clear the view. All right, that's enough mixed metaphors for this evening. I'm going to say have a great night. Join me again here tomorrow night, around midnight, as always. Until then, you have a magical day, an exciting adventure, and all that good stuff. And I'll push the magic button and see if this actually turns this thing off. one more time.